Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, throwback Thursday, as it were. Good to see you all. Everybody in the comments section, a ton of people already chiming in on YouTube. Love you guys. Always good to see the regulars chopping it up. The Packers heading into the throes of the bye week. I mean, we all love the bye week because it helps the guys get healthy, but man, not having Packers football for a week is the worst. But tonight, we get to watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who will be the Packers' next opponent when they return from the bye week, take on the Bears, who still suck. So that'll be fun. Get a little early peek at Tom Brady and company. And yeah, Lenny, thanks for giving the shout out there. Got to get Goody on transplants next. What's funny is Goodykunst has been on my podcast twice, but never on transplants. But yeah, we'll get him there. It'll happen. Now, how to figure out how to track all this roster turnover. Brandy, it's one of the byproducts of all of the new rules and regulations and protocols put in place, a lot of it due to COVID-19. There are a lot of different ways you can manipulate the roster. And I think Brian's done a pretty good job of that so far. The latest being Reggie Begelton being brought up to the 53, instantly cut after the game and placed back on the practice squad. And what's going to make things even more interesting now, the fallout from the Titans thing, which they have more positive cases today. Their game with the Bills on Sunday, I think, is in real jeopardy. Who knows if they push it back to a week 18 or if they just make them forfeit, since that report came out that they gathered last week for workouts when they were expressly told not to. But the fallout from that now is the NFL has added additional protocols when it comes to bringing in people from outside the building, whether it's picking somebody up from somebody else's practice squad, signing a free agent, making a trade. It is now essentially going to take teams 6 days, almost a full week, if they have interest in somebody outside the building, to bring them in and get them on their squad. The incubation period is obviously a very real thing with COVID, and I think the earlier protocols from the NFL probably didn't take that into account. So now if you do, say, trade for a defensive lineman or a wide receiver or whatever the Packers may be looking at, they have to basically either plan a week in advance or just plan on not having that guy instantaneously for the upcoming week. So just another layer of the things that Goodykunst and company will have to sort out and sort through throughout this very unusual NFL season. How did Reggie look in training this summer? Jake, like, it wasn't too big for him. I think he looks like he belongs. There's no question about that. I think what he needs to do is, get those reps, get those plays in with the ones. Obviously, he got that chance on Monday night, and I think he acquitted himself just fine. But, with Devontae coming back, he's going to have to slide back down the depth chart, and away they go. But, yeah, I think there's a lot of promise there, and I think he has a chance to stick, no doubt about it. I saw some new at Quick Trip. Oh, I love it. What games are you watching this weekend and why? Greg, I haven't even looked at it. I know I'm watching Tampa, Chicago tonight. After that, I'll just scroll around whatever's on. I spent a good part of my adult life like breaking down NFL football, making spreadsheets, looking at it really, really, and the minutia of it. Now I try to stay away from that as much as possible. Man, if there's football on, great, I'll watch it. I can't wait. But man, I do not miss like looking at it critically and breaking it down. Fuck all that. Think Tennessee should have to forfeit the games so players get pay. I mean, those games will be counted one way or the other, and I think guys will get paid. Missed games obviously are a way for teams to would be a way for teams to threaten, guys with, you better shape up, blah, blah, blah. A forfeit would be an interesting route to take. Well, I'll just say that. I'm just glad I don't have to make that call. I think it's entirely feasible that they do make the Titans forfeit the game. I think that's a definite possibility. Going to be interesting to see how today plays out. No doubt about it. Julio Jones is the perfect example of why you rest Adams against Atlanta. Stu, absolutely correct. I mean, it was interesting, right? And look, it's a lot easier to make the call the Packers made when they're sitting there at 3-0, right? With the bye week coming up on the back end. The Falcons, in a much different situation, much more desperate, can kind of understand why they let Julio play. But yes, you're right. Then Julio suffers the aggravation of the hamstring injury, and away they go. And don't you feel so much better now that Adams did not play in that game? And the Packers won, obviously, very convincingly. And now he's going to be rested up, extra special for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And look, that goes for Devontae, too. I mean, we all saw the tweet. We all saw the frustrations that he had with not being allowed to play. But that is literally why the medical staff is there, to make those tough calls and to keep the players safe from themselves. And, hey, McKenzie has long been, I don't want to say ridiculed, but we tease the Packers a lot about how conservative their medical team is, unless you're Martellus Bennett, of course. But, hey, there's a reason they are. And they're pretty damn good at their jobs. And I think the last decade, 2 decades plus have proven that. Who's your favorite film analyst on social media? I like Brett Coleman. Craig, I got to go with my buddy, Matt Bowen. He breaks it down in a way that is not too technical, but still advanced, yet digestible and really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say inviting, but he doesn't shut people out with how technical he gets with stuff, or he doesn't get in the weeds, but he still shows you kind of the mechanism at play in each play and what's happening. And he'll take questions. God, that guy handles more shit better than anybody else I know on Twitter, because people will go, this is so stupid or whatever. And then Matt will just, instead of saying, yeah, I'm an NFL vet who knows this shit like the back of his hand, he will respond with, well, that's a point, but this, there, and the other thing. I just love his tone. I love how he breaks down. And that's the whole reason I brought him on board when I was back at Bleacher Report back in the day. I love his approach. And I'm just happy that he's still doing it. I love that he's on the matchup show, even though ESPN treats it like a stepchild that no one wants to see. I love it and never miss it. And Matt's a big part of that. Zane, thank you for the super chat. I know this isn't a Packers question. Oh, boy. But is there any internship that you know of for people who majored in accounting? Go Pack Go. In accounting? Like football accounting? I'm so confused. An internship that I know of for people. I do not know, but I'll throw it out there to the chat. If anyone knows, let Zane know in the YouTube comments. I got nothing. If we play the Seahawks next, would you be as confident as before the playoff game last season? Hell yes, Matt. Hell yes. Come on, bring on those Seahawks. Now, the question is, are they playing in Seattle or are they playing in Lambeau? Because we all know the history there. If they're in Lambeau, yeah, 100%. No question. If they're in Seattle, it's a 50-50. I'll give you that. For as creative as this offense is, we need a little more of that on 3rd and 4th and goal. Yeah, Stu, if you missed Coach on Packer Transplants last night, go and check it out. He did mention the play call there on 4th down not being very good. I agree, man. This idea that they're going to like road grade people on a 4th and short, a 4th and goal, I hate it. That's not who they are. It's never going to be who they are. You need to get a little bit more creative. What's crazy is that you look at that 3rd down call where they had 3 guys wide open. I love that play. Or 4th down call. I love that play. But that was in the middle of the field, like 4th and goal. It's a little more constricted. Yeah, I think we'll see a little bit more creativity going forward because they have not had a whole lot of success with that kind of pounded up in their style. Hey, is Dean Lowery still a Packer? Yes, and I will say he actually played pretty darn well on Monday night. He played better. Just because he's not making highlights or not like sacking the quarterback doesn't mean he's playing poorly. I think he's playing better. I tell you what, who's playing much better is Tyler Lancaster. He really came to play on Monday night. But yeah, Lowery does get washed out sometimes. He does end up on the ground a little bit too much, but he's at least playing better than he was, say, week 1, even week 2. So, hey, I'll take incremental improvement. I'll take that. Zach, I will not answer any questions about turnovers because I don't want to jinx anything. Sorry. All gas, no fucking break. That's what I'm talking about. Why is the pass rush off to a slow start this year? Brandy, I don't know if you noticed this, but Zadarius had 3 sacks on Monday night. Sacks come in bunches. It happens. Teams have clearly gotten the memo that they need to get the ball out quickly. The short passing game is tearing up the Packers defense. That's pretty clear. When it's 3rd and long, they have not been able to get to the quarterback, but they have affected the pocket which, as you heard Mike Smith all offseason talk about, is the whole goal. The sacks will come. I think Monday night is a perfect example. We heard about Z, we've talked about Z, and then all of a sudden he shows up with 3 sacks. The sacks will roll in. You get, especially once we get Bane Gary back on the field, things will start rolling. Don't worry about it. Is the rush defense one of your biggest concerns for the defense? I mean, yeah, obviously it's the number one concern. It's got to be. I mean, they played better on Monday night. There's no question about it. But I think it's always going to be a concern. And if they can string together consistency there, then maybe those concerns get mitigated. But for now, I don't think there's any question. That's the Achilles heel. But I tell you what, if the run defense is the one area where you're like questionable, you're doing okay. If everything else is working, you're doing okay. Josh, thanks for the super chat. If King continues to blow open field tackles, does Jackson get more snaps? No, because he's playing really well overall. I know, again, this is the thing where we see this one clip or picture of a guy missing a tackle and you think, oh, God, get him out of there. But no, man, he's playing lights out. He's playing really well in coverage. He is absolutely killing it in the run game. He had a force play on Monday night. I mean, you would have thought that guy was a linebacker. So, no. Yes. Is it frustrating to watch him miss a tackle? Zero question about it. But that's no reason to put him on the bench at all. Overshadow Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. Damn, I missed transplants last night. I know you were sorely missed. Many apologies. Great interview with Coach. Happy 200. Here's to 2,000 more. Thank you so much. Yes, the 200th episode of Packer Transplants was last night. Called for a special guest. Big thanks to Matt LaFleur for joining us. What is Ted Thompson up to? Andrew, living in Texas, still on staff with the personnel group in Green Bay. He is an advisor. I don't know how much daily input he has, but he's still scouting tape, doing his thing. But yeah, he no longer lives in Green Bay. He lives in Texas full time with his nearer to his family. Mackenzie, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a question attached, but thank you very much. Eli, thanks for watching Transplants. Thanks, buddy. Can the Packers re-sign Bakhtiari and or Jones to contracts over the bye week, or has that time passed until after the season? No, they absolutely can. They can sign them to an extension at any time. Now, sometimes players will say, I don't want to have talks going on during the season. I don't think either Jones or Bakhtiari have said as much, but usually players do like to just cut that off and like concentrate on their play. But yeah, absolutely it could happen. My guess is if something were to happen, it'd probably be towards the end of the year. But we'll see. Could happen at any time. Nuclear Family, thanks for the super chat. Are players and coaches paid to do your shows? No. God, no. No. Although I will say, that said, we did offer a player this year because everything's on Zoom and it's like, yeah, just come on Zoom once a week, blah, blah, blah. And we did offer to pay an appearance fee for the first time ever. But because it was going to be a weekly thing. But then, the season started and they were like, they just couldn't commit to doing it every week. So that's fine. So that would have been the start of us paying people like as a pro shop. But no, Matt LaFleur, although he did mention his agent last night, did not get paid for his appearance. Nathan, thank you for the super chat. King haters don't understand football or how fickle the cornerback position is. Just saying, euchre season. Thank you, Nathan. I tend to agree. Not all the time. Who was it? Was it Jamal Williams? It was not Jamal Williams. Raven Green play. What is the 411 on this guy? I am confused. What are you confused about, Brandy? He played. I thought he was solid. You saw him get the sack. I think they played a lot more defensive backs rather than bringing in linebackers, probably because they're pretty thin at that position. But yeah, Raven's a physical guy. He was a bit of a ball hawk in college, but he's become much more of a box safety, a bit of a hybrid guy. He's physical, though. I love him. Bubba Franks. Josh would like to retort. Thanks for the super chat. I'm not a King hater. I have his jersey. I saw someone else ask the question 4 times and thought I would help him out. There you go, Josh. That's what I like, cooperation. Thanks, buddy. Is Lovett any good? Saw him get blown up in the goal line. Adam, yeah, he's good. That's not his game, though. And that's why I'm talking about coaching the team you have. He's not like, some classic lead fullback. He's an athletic H-back. You know, can he do some things in the run game as far as being a blocker? Yeah, of course. But he's never going to be, let me plow through this 600 pounds worth of human to create a hole and pave the way. That's not his gig. That's what I'm talking about when I say coach the team you have. Mackenzie, thank you for the super chat. With the development of Barnes and when Martin comes back and he plays well, could you see us letting Kirksey go after 1 year? Woo, man, it's awfully early for that. Can we let Kirksey play a little bit? Barely getting his feet wet there. But is it a possibility? Sure. But, one step at a time. You're also assuming Martin comes back and plays well. He's coming off now his second knee injury in, just under a calendar year. So, man, let's pump the brakes there a little bit. What else we got? Arthur, thank you for the super chat. Can't wait for the national media to promote this next game as if it's Brady versus Rodgers in an Oklahoma drill for 16 minutes. You heard Rodgers talk about that on the McAfee show. Yeah, it's the narrative. It's what gets latched onto. Any football fan who knows the game whatsoever knows that that's ridiculous, but that's what the networks like to pump. Why do Packers fans think every player is supposed to be a Hall of Famer? Mistakes will happen. Get over it. I mean, I understand that sentiment, but I also understand fans being frustrated. It's like I was telling Corey last night. Corey gets so mad when I get down on the defense or I yell at the defense during games, but it's like it's during the game. You're supposed to be emotional. You're supposed to be invested in it. After the game, you're looking at the tape, then I get being dispassionate and but most fans don't go back and look at the tape. They just remember what they watched. They were in the game when they were emotional. So I understand when fans come away from the game and they don't go back and watch the tape, and a couple days later, like, God, King missed all these tackles. Well, yeah, but you didn't go back and watch the tape, and you don't know how well he played overall. That's fine. That's the whole point. You're supposed to be a fan. You don't want to go and do homework. That's why you got guys like, Andy Herman to break it down and grade it out for you. So you don't have to. It's fine, man. Fan's going to fan. It's all good. Is Kirksey back after the bye? I think it's still a little early, but we'll see. I hope so. I really hope so, because I want to get him out there and see what he can do. Was there ever a timeline given for Lazard? No, they're going to shy away from ever giving one. Lazard said sooner rather than later or something like that on the show with the Green Bay Press Gazette, the Post Crescent on last Monday night. And on this past Monday. So I keep saying I'm going to be surprised if he's back before December, but I'm happy to be wrong and surprised about that one. No doubt about it. Greg, thank you for the super chat. When is Cheesehead TV and Grassi going to go on each other's shows? Love both channels. I've been on with Grassi before, and we've had Grassi on Transplants before. But yeah, we'll make it happen again. No doubt about it. Frank, thanks for the super chat. QB12 said Atlanta weren't disguising their coverage very much. Is there a good reason for this? You think they'd want not to show their hand? Well, that is kind of traditionally where, the tree, so to speak, the coaching tree that Dan Quinn comes out of is the Pete Carroll tree, which is very much also what Saleh runs in San Francisco. It's what they run in Los Angeles with the Chargers. It's this. And it's not always cover three, but it is a cover three shell base. And it's very much this cloud that you have to pick apart and you have to work and we're going to run our thing and you got to try and beat it. Now, one can argue the merits of that when you don't have, say, the Legion of Boom at your disposal, but that's often what Quinn has done. And Quinn may be going through challenges with his personnel because he's been so banged up on defense. Because we have all seen him be very good when it comes to disguising stuff. Don't have to look much further than the NFC Championship game in Atlanta. They really got after Aaron in that game. Did a really good job of hiding stuff and bringing pressures and kind of catching Aaron a few times in that game. But yeah, if you're all banged up, you don't want an extensive game plan that calls for a lot of disguise and then switch and then communication because guys just haven't repped a whole lot together. So that would be the kind of the one big reason I would think that they have to be a little bit vanilla. Aaron O'Rourke, thanks for the super chat. Don't see a question, but thanks, buddy. Corey, that's really nice of you to say. I like to be here. I like to talk some Packers, and I like to chat with Packers fans worldwide. It's what I do. That said, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out, talking some Packers, supporting Cheesehead TV. please hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV is devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Zach got a late super chat here. So far through 4 games, has your opinion changed on any of the upcoming free agents, hoping that someone should be brought back you originally didn't expect? You know, my heart has lots of feelings. Obviously, I want King back. I want Corey Linsley back. I really want Corey Linsley back because he is playing out of his damn mind. But I still think the harsh realities of the cap and the dispassionate job that Gutekunst and company will be charged with, I think it's pretty much the same. And the pecking order doesn't change. Bakhtiari's got to be number 1. But we'll see. There's only 4 games in. A whole lot of ball game left. Oh, hey, and before I go, a reminder for our Patreon members, Patreon happy hour tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. Going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you're there. Yuck it up with myself and various assortment of Patreon contributors who are so greatly appreciated. And hey, if you want to join us and you haven't joined yet, all we ask is $5 a month to help support everything we do, including shows like Packer Transplants with Coach LaFleur, 5+ hours of live streaming each and every game day. It really goes a long way to help us out. But hey, if you can't do that, totally understand. Just hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Packers.